Flag on the play.
Flag,
Flag on the play.
flag,
Flag
flag.
on the play. Flag.
You cheated. You did something bad. Look,
What did what is yeah, what I'm at a loss for words, Travis. I'm at a loss. Just
193 yards of penalties. 193
Mississippi State
yards.
shot a lot of free throws.
That's right, they did.
They shot a
They
lot of
did.
free throws.
We spent a lot of time in the penalty
A
box.
lot of time in the penalty box.
Wait, what sport are we talking about?
I don't know. I
Did
don't
we
know.
get
I'll
a
be
yellow?
honest with you.
Did we get a
I quit
yellow
paying
card, red
attention.
card? What? No.
After about the 11th penalty, I just went and played golf. So
How many times have we brought up anything to do with soccer? Because I think that may have been like the second time, maybe
second
something
time,
like that.
welcome to Wrexham. Welcome to
Yeah,
Wrexham.
sure, yeah. If we did, it was probably you mentioning "Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Wrexham"
Wrexham.
or something.
Here's the
Anyway,
thing about Welcome to Wrexham, though, Travis,
okay, tell me about it.
is I love the show. It's like
You
the only
do?
time it got like, so you know what I did?
What'd you do?
They've got a YouTube page. They got
Yeah,
different things. I gave them a like, Travis, because
you
that's the good
did,
thing to do. I gave
man.
them a like. And then, I shared it on this podcast, shared it with all you. I shared it with the people.
You did.
And I'd be honest with you, I didn't subscribe, but I should have.
You
I
should have,
should have.
because
That way
you're
I
a
would have
slacker.
known when new content was coming out.
Well,
'Cause
and
now
here's
I'll
the
never
deal.
know because they're not going to advertise it
Well,
at
and
all.
here's the thing, Clint. That's some little show that got a little popular or whatever. We're the coolest podcast ever.
Yeah.
The
Endorsed
Hog
by Paul
Slop
Feinbaum.
podcast, endorsed by Paul.
Yeah.
And so
I'm a Hall of Famer.
they should even more. Yeah, you're a Hall of. We got
Yeah.
50% of us here are Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Half the podcast.
Half the podcast. So
And the other one's Travis.
that was me. But so here's what needs to happen. If you did that for Welcome to Wrexham,
Yeah.
how much more so should they do that for this
They should
podcast?
do it for us tenfold.
Like, share, subscribe, all those
Tenfold. Like,
things.
share, subscribe 10 times.
So listen,
10.
while we're playing your little music and we're getting ready to start the rest of the show, you just go ahead and do that, okay? Just like, share,
You do it.
subscribe,
I'll be sitting here
all
drinking my
those
Ron
things.
Palmer. You start
And
doing
I
that,
got
right?
my Body Armor water.
Right.
It's got electrolytes in it because I need those. So listen up to some music, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change his name. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change his name. My Lord changes me. My Lord changes me. Can you hear me now? Church, can you hear me now? Ever seen a broken heart made whole? Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen the weak find the strength? I promise you I'll change his name. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed? Ever seen a death man raised? I promise you I'll change his name. My Lord, change his name. My Lord, change his name. Church, can you hear me now? Ever seen a broken heart made?
What's up, everybody? It's time. It's time for the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T, joined as always by my man Big C from Victoria, Texas, Clint Clark. Oh, I told him where you're at, Clint. You can't
Yeah,
hide.
no, it's fine.
Can't hide. They
No,
can
you're
find
fine.
you.
Beautiful Victoria,
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah, and I was just talking about this. I don't know if you heard me. I'm drinking a Ron Palmer, which is HTO's version of an Arnold Palmer. Travis, you want to explain to the good people what an Arnold Palmer is?
Well, an Arnold Palmer is mixing lemonade and tea. And made famous by the golfer Arnold Palmer because he used to drink it. And it's one of my personal favorites also.
Yeah.
Even with pink lemonade, if a restaurant just has pink lemonade, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Mix it up. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
And I've got, Travis, I don't know if you know this, I have a country club membership now.
Oh, I know. Well, you're big time
Yeah,
now.
I know.
Yeah. I can't
Robert,
believe you still talk to me. I didn't know.
no, no, I barely do.
I
Um,
know.
if I could trust me, I'm working with one of the finest monkeys, and I'm trying to train him to edit the
I know.
podcast and just pitch me
Yeah.
jokes. And
Yeah.
then he's good. Then you're
Well,
out of
and
here,
and
buddy.
then they're truck wrecked in Mississippi, and that ruined all that.
Dude, okay, first off, we did not discuss any of this, but this
I
is
know.
hilarious. Okay, there's a herpes monkey on the loose.
No, no, not anymore. Did you hear
They
about
catch
it?
it? No, I didn't.
Oh,
Okay, what
ended up
happened?
at some lady's house, and she went straight redneck on it.
Oh,
Now I don't know if there's more loose, but one of them ended up at a lady's house, and she pulled out her pow pow and got rid of it.
well, okay. First off, and I tend to lean a little to the left, but if you're ever justified in using a firearm, it is on a herpes monkey.
That's right.
It is
Yeah.
on it. It is on a
That's
herpes.
right.
Like, look,
That's
if it's between me, that monkey, and herpes, I'm killing the monkey and the herpes.
that's right. Well, I think the monkey had herpes and COVID, so double whammy.
Dude, yeah. Did she have to quarantine and wear a mask after
I
this?
don't know. I don't know.
I
I don't know
mean,
what they did to the neighborhood. I didn't follow up. I just saw the
I
headline.
mean,
I should have read the article. I mean,
I
that's one of those
well,
articles
first off, no, you shouldn't have.
Yes,
You
right.
should
Yeah.
have just like
Just
that's when
keep
you
swiping.
click on the comments kind of halfway, see what happens.
That's right. Yeah. See
Do
if
you
there's
ever
any
do
good
that on a
jokes in there.
post where you're like, I'm not reading the post, and then you just get a
Yeah.
gist of
Get the
what's going
comment.
on in the comments?
That's right. Yeah. That's funny.
I do that all the time because I'm lazy, people.
Yeah.
I'm lazy. Very, very lazy.
Well, Clint,
Travis,
I
have you
had
ever
a,
encountered?
I got to tell you about a crazy moment I had the other day, and
Okay,
it was a dang, I'm getting old, being an adult is stupid day. Okay. So last week I had a problem with a tooth. Okay. And it stunk because it was a tooth that I'd already paid a lot of money to put a crown on, but it swole up on me. My whole jaw swole up. Anyway.
yeah,
So I had to take antibiotics and then get it. Anyway. So I go to the dentist. He has to do a root canal. Okay. So I took off work early so I could go get the root canal. I'm
right.
sitting in the dentist office. He numbs it up and, and they numb it up and then he goes and works on somebody else for a little while. So the numbing takes hold, whatever. So while he's in there, I get a phone call from my doctor's office. And I think, well, probably need to take this from my doctor's office. No one else is in here, so I won't be being rude to take it, right?
They're probably asking you if you'd had exposure to the herpes monkey.
More than likely, yeah. So I get on the phone and they're like, hey, we need to set up this test. And it's one of these tests that when you're getting older, you got to take kind of things.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, yeah, let's set it up. And they said, well, someone else will be calling you, whatever. Okay, thank you. Hang up. Then after I leave there, as a 49-year-old man, I go to the optometrist to get my first pair of eyeglasses. And that poor lady, me and you talked about this a while ago before the show, but I'm a very picky person. Okay. And
You
so
are.
I had like 20 pair, I've taken them off the rack and I got them all set down. I'm ranking them. I'm finding one I like. And I'm like, okay, I like this one. I like this one better. Anyway, poor lady. She had to deal with that. Anyway, so I order the glasses. I leave. And as I get into my truck, I think, man, this getting old sucks.
Yeah.
This ain't good. I mean, this just afternoon was just a reminder that, man, being an adult and being near 50, wow, I don't like this.
No, no. And we were talking earlier. I think there's another reason why I think me and you became better friends as we've gotten older. Because we've learned what to do and not to do with the other one.
Yeah.
Like, would you go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with me again?
Uh,
with me.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with you because
No.
I'm the type of guy. I'm like, yeah, I seen it,
Yeah.
and then I'm on to the next thing,
Yeah.
and then I'm sitting there waiting on you wanting to go,
Yeah.
and you're still at the first exhibit, reading
I
all
know.
about George Clinton and the P Funk All Stars.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Like literally, when we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like
you may
was
remember this better than I do.
mesmerized at the
Yeah,
display of the handwritten lyrics to Purple Haze.
right.
And Clint's like, yeah, I've heard the song. And he's like going, "What?" And like, I'm sitting there looking at him like, man, his handwriting's so cool. Like I'm analyzing it and everything. And Clint's like, okay, come on.
Yeah,
And then like in the hall, the actual hall, they remember those little screens and they would flash like three or four like
right.
pictures and with different facts about each person that's been inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Well, I'm like reading all that stuff. Like I'm sitting there watching all of it. And Clint's like standing outside. And he's like cracking jokes with people from other cities and stuff. And, so
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, but
we're
the
we're
attention
definitely not
span.
we're definitely not good sightseeing buddies because I'm even worse now. I would be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
and see, and I haven't gotten better.
yeah, yeah,
'Cause I'm just
yeah.
like I haven't. Like I'm just like I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I've seen it. Let's go.
That's right.
Like I'll
Well,
go places and just go to the gift store sometimes.
yeah.
like,
There you go.
I just like I'm. Oh, the Alamo's over there. Okay, cool. All
Yeah,
right.
you just went there, peed on the wall, and left. I mean, that
Yeah,
was
I'm
all
like
you
that's
did.
it. Dude, that
I
is like
saw it the way Ozzy did. I'm
yeah,
good.
it's like in downtown San Antonio. It's just
I
freaking
know.
crazy. It's like, oh, here's Wells Fargo. Oh, look, it's the
Yeah.
Alamo.
That's awesome. Well, hey, so we got to talk about it, Clint. The Razorbacks play Mississippi State,
Right.
and you picked them to lose. Neither one of us got the score very close. I picked them to win, so I was way off.
Yeah. Well,
But Clint, as far as the team played with heart, with effort most of the time. I think the defense especially played
yeah.
with quite a bit of effort. But the story of the game and the story that and we don't got to harp on it very long. We don't have to talk about it a lot and break down
No.
because like if you want to see the breakdown of all the calls and what people think about them and all that kind of stuff, there's other podcasts. Fourth and Five. DJ Williams does a great job with that, and some others. But the calls were that took over. I mean that's the story of the game, especially for Arkansas
Yeah.
fans.
Well, and that should never happen, whether it's uh, a team being completely undisciplined, which I don't think that was it. There's probably a couple that were just boneheaded mistakes, and then some just the referees they made it about them.
Yeah,
And see, I was, I was on my way. I went and played golf and listened to a lot of it on the radio because I enjoy listening to Chuck Barrett call the game,
yeah.
too. And so I had it on the radio, and I was annoyed because I had Mississippi State's um, announcers in the golf in the golf
Uh,
cart, and so they were delighting at some of the calls, and me and them
yeah,
did not share the same enthusiasm.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and the
but
thing was, Clint, some of them were, look, yeah, and here's kind of what happened, I think. I think the team played with an edge that we haven't seen in a while, and I was glad to see that edge. But the problem is when you take that edge too far, and they did on a few plays. Now
yeah,
there was some calls that were terrible. The holding call on our boy Carmona was a pancake block. He blocked that dude into the ground, and they called him. They called a holding on it. It wasn't a hold. That was a terrible call.
well, the rough and the passer on Quincy Rose, I hear, was particularly atrocious too.
Well, especially since the part of that is, and if you watch DJ's podcast, he of course he's got access to all the film and he shows it on his podcast. But one of the things he mentioned was that the whistle was late on that, and so Rhodes was playing to the whistle, and so he finished the play, and that's what Rhodes said after the game. And so there was a lot of that. I think part of what happened was Arkansas was playing with an edge. Mississippi State was playing with an edge too, right? They really wanted that win bad. Both teams
Yeah.
wanted that win because they haven't won an SEC game. Neither team, Mississippi State, and even longer. Okay,
And they both knew you got to look at the schedule. This is our best shot.
that's
One
right.
of us to beat the other.
And so I think the refs lost control of it and were just trying to rein it in that
Well,
second
and
half.
and that's one of the things when you have the when it's two winless SEC schools playing the 11:45 game on the SEC network, you're not getting the A crew.
Yeah, but no one will
You're
admit that, but that's the truth. Yeah,
that's the yeah, that was their bottom of the run crew.
yeah.
It was. That is the worst crew that you could possibly get.
Now,
But so maybe a better crew would have got it under control earlier.
now I'm going to bring something up that I haven't heard anyone else say yet,
Oh.
and maybe we're just becoming the hater podcast. Maybe that's us. I don't know, but I think it needs to be said, and I think it's true. When you have a coach that people generally just don't like, a couple of things are going to happen. You're not going to get calls, and the announcers are definitely not going to be in your favor. And one of the complaints we heard was the announcers were talking bad about that they were one sided. Well, Gene Chiswick's worked with Petrino. He's not a fan of Petrino. I think that's pretty obvious. Okay. And Petrino is known, look, he's just not liked by people. We've said that before on here. When we had Petrino before, I talked to a friend of mine that worked on a nationally syndicated talk show, worked with a nationally syndicated talk show host. He was one of his on air talent guys. Okay. And I asked him, I said, hey, man, all the people in Arkansas think that ESPN has a vendetta against Arkansas because we stole Petrino from Atlanta, and the owner of Atlanta is Home Depot's owner, and they're a big sponsor for ESPN. Do you think that's true? He said, no, Travis, that's not true. He said, media doesn't like Petrino because he treats the media bad. He said he's a bad, he just, and now that was years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's different now, but he sure didn't look different on the sideline the other day.
Yeah,
Now,
he
part
was.
of, part of that, you're proud of him for defending his players too, because
Yeah.
there was some bad calls and you want him to get fired up. Okay. So please don't send the hate. Well, you can send it. I don't care. But I mean, I agree. At least he stood up for his players. At least he didn't just sit there going, well, that was a bad call. He was defending his players. But Clint, he said something. I'd like to know what he said. I'd like to know if what he said was as bad as what got that flag or not. You know, because he got the flag. Now, the other
Yeah,
thing,
I remember we were playing North Alabama. This was about the time I was actually having to learn the plays because that's right after Seth had got hurt. But I remember we were playing North Alabama and there were some atrocious calls. And I remember Mullins getting a flag on him.
Mhm.
Uh, so he
Well,
was
sometimes as a coach, you got to. But
you
now,
got to.
one thing that impressed me though, and look, okay, I talked bad about Petrino. Let me talk good about him. In the post game press conference, he was heartbroken over the way that game went. He was upset, not because of the bad. I mean, he was upset because of the bad calls, but he was heartbroken because he said these guys have worked too hard and put too much effort in, to lose a game like that. And I'll tell you that I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean that, you know, all the things I can say, that, critiques I can make, man, I got to give him his,
Well,
his applause on that one.
let's just
And I
be
think he wanted to win, and partially wanted to win
let's
to
just
get the
be
job.
real. Sam Pittman and Bobby Trino, neither one this season have lost a game to a bad football team.
No,
They just haven't.
no,
The Mississippi State was the worst team that they've played, and they are a 5-win school. They've got a top 25 win against Arizona State, took Tennessee to overtime. I mean, they've been in it just like Arkansas has been in it. They just haven't been able to get over the hump, and they got over the hump.
yeah,
Good for those kids. Good for that fan base because we were that fan base coming after the Morris years, and I think Jeff Levy's a decent guy. I believe Cody Kennedy, I believe, is their offensive line coach at Mississippi State, former Arkansas offensive line coach.
yep,
So,
yep,
so good for them. I hate it that it's at our expense. I don't know if you can tell that I'm done with the football season, but I am.
yeah,
So it's just. But here's the thing: they did lose a game like that, Travis.
yeah,
They did,
yeah,
and I think Petrino also knew that that was his best chance to get a win.
yep. It was.
Um, LSU, we can talk Brian
And
Kelly in a minute.
and so, what do you think, Clint? Now, let's transition into coaching talk.
Great.
What do you think his chances are to? You think they're done for retaining the job?
Yeah, I think they're done. I think they're done. Um, well, but here's the thing. Yeah, if somehow pull it together, you beat Texas and the Missouri, then we'll talk. Um,
I think he's got to win two of these last three.
yeah, I mean, but that's even a Brian Kellyless LSU. Um, Texas is going to be. I watched the Texas Vandy game.
Yeah,
Texas seemed to figure it out on offense.
yeah,
They seemed like Arch. I hate to say getting that concussion may be the best thing that ever happened to him, but it may be the best thing that ever happened to him. Was
yeah,
that ball was coming out quick.
yeah.
They were doing real quick passes, and they were doing like they were almost using the quick passes to set up the deep pass like a play action
I wish
game.
Taylor Green would learn that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, I mean, they just was. I mean, it was a,
yeah.
and I hate to give them credit, but Texas, and but then you got to think about you got that Missouri game going into it. Because you're hearing Drake's name.
Well, and that's our main hope with that game is I think if the week before, if it starts leaking out that he's up for the Penn State job or something like that, or up for the
Yeah,
Florida job or
Florida job. Yeah,
something, then who knows, because that could cause the players to start, not wanting to be motivated as much. So all that being said, uh,
and I told you if I'm Arkansas, I make Drake tell me no.
yeah. So let's go over our top three coaches, and we can talk about, I think within that we'll talk about, you know, some of the coaching news we're hearing and stuff like that. But who's your top three this week?
I'm sorry, I gave my sarcastic three last week just because I wanted to annoy the Petrino huggers out
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
But yeah, um, Morris, still, I've got him at number three.
yep,
Head coach at North Texas. Look, they are looking, they're looking good. And what the work he's done with that quarterback, a 0-star recruit.
yep.
And
And
you're seeing what Chandler's done. Had some good games for Virginia, and Chandler worked for him. Chandler Morris, son of Chad Morris,
that's right.
former Arkansas coach. Now he's receivers coach at somewhere. I don't know. Don't care.
Yeah.
Um, so
And I was telling you earlier, one of the funny things that Mike Irwin said on the Ask Mike segment on if you get on YouTube, you can look it up. But and Mike Irwin's kind of one of those guys you can take or leave, but he usually has pretty good information. He's hearing that some of the board of trustee members they like Morris, but some of them are saying that they can't go with him because of his last name. Because we already had a Morris and it didn't go so well, and that fans won't get behind a coach last name Morris because of Chad Morris. Now, is that nuts or what?
No, I think we'd make a joke out of it if he
Yeah, I
was
think so too. I think like you could see some shirts, like,
not that
Morris,
Coach Morris.
Morris, yeah, not that Coach Morris or something like that. Yeah. That'd be funny. All right, so who's your next one?
You're not giving your number three, or you
Oh,
gonna
my
give?
number three. Uh, he was my number two last week, but I moved him to three.
Oh man,
Although I think he's still I think I'm hearing his name more. And to be honest with you, when I said his name a few weeks ago, no one was really saying his name hardly at all. But now his name's out there quite a bit. It's PJ Fleck.
okay.
I still think I think he's an option. I think with Drake Lindsay possibly coming with him, Drake Lindsay's having a great year. Now he doesn't have the record. Like if you look at his record at Minnesota, he doesn't have the gaudy numbers. Okay, but he's done well at Minnesota. He's competed well at Minnesota, and that's not an easy place to compete. Okay, and so I think the fact with the Lindsay family, with he's only 44 years old, motivational guy. Um, anyway, I still like PJ Fleck. I think he would be a great one.
Travis, I'm gonna do something. I'll explain why. Why don't you go ahead and give me your number two?
Well, my number two is your number three. I've moved him into my list, and that's Morris from North
Okay.
Texas
Well, and I
because
tell you what, yeah,
well, and the things you said earlier, but also this is the guy that tutored. Actually, he took Patrick Mahomes out of baseball. Patrick Mahomes was focused on baseball. He said, "No, dude, you're a quarterback." Got him into it. Okay, he took Cam Ward to two different schools. Okay, and then Cam went to Miami and finished up without him. Now he's got a no-star walk-on guy that's the favorite to win the Burlsworth Award, looking like an all-world quarterback.
yeah,
Okay, um, so I mean he's in that worked for Kingsbury, worked got that Mike Leach system. I mean, which we love. So and doing great things at North Texas. It has a chance to win a conference at North
yeah.
Texas with some of these other guys as coaches that we're talking about on our list.
Well, and whoever wins that American Conference is going to probably be in the playoffs because you talk about
Yeah,
North Texas, South Florida, Memphis, all in the running,
yeah,
and all have lost the game, and
yeah,
they're all still legit. Now, Travis, my number two has been your number one. I'm only going to assume it still is,
yep,
but
probably,
Alex Golish
yep,
is just he's won me over. I like the guy. I know he said he's committed to North Texas, or not North Texas, South Florida,
yeah,
but sometimes money talks,
yeah,
and and you're so and you're hearing some smoke. There's a little smoke there, but who
yeah.
knows?
Well, and the other thing I didn't realize, his offensive coordinator that he's very close to is from Fort Smith.
Okay,
So not that with the connection with his wife, being from Greenwood, all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Golish is my number one still. Uh, and once again, these are people that I think we can get, and I would like us to get. Uh, so, uh, who's your number one?
Number one, he has been the entire time. It is still James Franklin
Yep.
is number one to me. Now, now here, let's talk top jobs on the market, Travis. Top jobs on the market right now. LSU, you'd say is number one.
Yep.
Are they going to settle for James Franklin in Baton Rouge?
I don't know.
I just, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see Florida or LSU wanting James Franklin.
Well, I
Just,
think with LSU, I think what I was originally before all these jobs opened up, my big thing with Franklin was it's just hard to bring someone in that was just recently fired, even though he's got a great resume and he's worth it. Okay, I'm not saying he's not worth it. I'm not saying he's a great
yeah.
coach, but for LSU, I think you can still say that. For Arkansas, I don't think you can say that anymore because there's so many jobs open that he's going to get one of the top jobs because he's got the best resume out there.
No, I
Or
think,
one of the best
like I said,
resumes
I
out there.
think, if I'm going to put, I would put Florida, LSU, and Penn State in a tier above us.
Yeah.
I just would. I think those jobs are going to be more coveted. But then you've got us, Virginia Tech, Auburn, kind of right there in that second tier.
Yeah.
Oh, I put Oklahoma State in that mix too.
Yeah.
So there, I mean, so there's four jobs that you're competing for guys at. I mean, obviously the other three are going to get their pick of the litter, and then, but the name that keeps coming up, and it's just ever going to keep coming up is the big domino is what's Lane going to do?
Yeah.
Um, I just, dude, I am a fan of Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I hate that I like him. Like it
Yeah.
pisses me off that I kind of enjoy Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be tough to see him. Like, I don't know. That is the big domino. Um, we'll see what happens there. Other dominoes are about to fall. Clemson, Wisconsin, um,
Florida State.
Florida State. I mean, there's other dominoes that are going to fall, and there's going to be more jobs open up, and that's some of what these coaches are waiting on. Now, I've been, hearing and reading some information. Some of you may have already heard all this stuff. Some of you may not have. Word is Yurchek and the board is trying to put together a pretty sizable package because these coaches are wanting to know. And the word is Franklin's wanting to see that, and word is Arkansas is in on Franklin. Okay. That's what multiple sources are saying, not just our sources, other people's sources.
My
Uh,
sources are made up.
that's right. Our sources are imaginary. Okay. The other people's sources are probably imaginary also, but they sound a lot more legit than ours. Anyway, what they're saying is it's a real deal that he's really considering it, but he's asking for $30 million of commitments to for the football program. Now uh, that's going to include a scouting department. That's going to include getting people in the like a football GM to work under Remy Cofield. Uh, and from what the word is, Remy Cofield's doing a great job at what he's doing. It's just he's a lone wolf and he needs some people working under him doing some of the things. Uh, they also need, you know, and then commitments for, other things with NIL and all that kind of stuff. Now, here's the deal, and here's what some fans are freaking out about. Right now, we're 14th, Clint, okay, in the SEC, and the money going toward football, right? Where they're talking about getting money from, okay, would put us from like sixth to eighth in the SEC. And
Okay.
some people are like, well, that's not good enough. Folks, think about that for a second. That's a big step. That's a huge step to go from
Well, you got,
14th
I
to
mean,
6th or 8th in
you're
this.
not going to outspend Texas and Texas A&M.
No,
You're just not.
no. Or
And you think,
LSU
or LSU
or
or
Alabama
Georgia or
and
Alabama.
Alabama. So right there, if we're 6th, I mean, then we're right there with Ole Miss. Think about that. I mean, so that's where we want to be. So if that's what they can do, now some are saying not just 30 million, they're looking at 40 million. Okay. They're looking at 40 million. to try to get together. And word is that John Tyson and others are working behind the scenes to try to make that happen. That he's getting involved in the football search. He's getting involved in the fundraising to help Yurachek. Now, part of this, Yurachek is trying to save his job. If he doesn't get the money together to get a big name coach, then the new coaches may have a new athletic director to work with. Okay, because people are looking to say, because that's one of the critiques of Yurachek is, can he raise funds? And so here's the big test. Okay, now the other thing that they're talking about is the possibility of starting to charge, and I can't believe they've waited this long to do this, is to charge students an athletic fee. Okay. Arkansas is one of the only schools in the country that doesn't do that, especially one of the big time schools. Okay. They've
Yeah.
never charged that. Broyles didn't want to. Like, I think they even charged that at OBU. Okay. I mean,
They
like,
charged it at Arkansas Tech.
yeah. So they, if they did, one figure I saw, if they did $200 a student, then it would end up being like $6.8 million just from that.
Travis, do you think anyone's going to be like, oh, they're charging a $200 student athletic fee? I'm not going to Arkansas.
That's just 200 more dollars to tack onto your student loan. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, if you priced what it costs to go to the University of Arkansas now,
No, I don't want to.
I've had kids that graduate from my youth group that could have went to Washita cheaper than the University of Arkansas.
And Washita's a private school.
Yeah. And one of the used to be one of the most expensive schools. Okay. But this one kid, he had offers at Washita to get everything paid for because he was salutatorian, had a 30, like 233 on his ACT, had a 4.3 GPA, and he still had to pay like over $2,000 a year or a semester at University of Arkansas. Anyway, sorry.
So,
So yeah, like you said, they're not gonna miss the $200. So anyway, so that's kind of where the information that I'm getting from multiple sources. Okay, uh, on kind of what different reporters, different people are kind of are talking about it.
so let me
Um,
ask you this, Travis. If you think if Hunter Yurchek and the board had their pick of realistic candidates right now,
Mhm.
who do you think's the head coach next year?
Franklin,
Yeah.
I think that's who they want.
Yeah.
I think they think he would bring. I think he would. They think they're thinking he would get the fans behind it. I think that's their. I think that's their number one. That because here's the truth. Would they like to have, Saban, Meyer, one of those guys? Yeah, probably. But those guys are not going to come to Arkansas.
and I think Franklin with a chip on his shoulder, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and the
You
guys
know,
average 9 to 11 wins like every year. Okay,
yeah.
so
Playoffs last year, were they not?
yeah, so I mean, he's a guy that you could sell to the fans. The fans would get behind him. Um, I think he would bring
Yeah,
a
well, he's
lot.
one of them. It's like it's almost like an oh crap, that guy's available.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. And but see, here's the thing. I was sitting there thinking like, okay, Dabo's probably about to get fired.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't know.
I do not want Dabo because it just seems like the
There's been
game.
there's been some people even talk about what's his name from Oklahoma State, Mullet Boy,
Yeah,
Gundy, and his
Gundy.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some people saying we should go get him. What? No, him and Dabo both. Look, I like Dabo. Okay, there's a lot of things I love about Dabo. If this was 8 years ago, let's get Dabo. But we're in a new world, and he's not willing to play the game. Let's not worry about Dabo. Let Dabo. Dabo needs to
I
go
mean,
coach a high
really,
school
what
team
Dabo
somewhere.
needs to do is go coach FCS or in Division 2
Yeah,
because that's the game's being played on a much smaller scale there.
yeah. and it's been played like he wants to do it, you know. And I think he cares about his kids. He impacts kids' lives. He does all those things. Let him go do that. Now I'll tell you, Clint. Here's the thing I'm rooting for. I don't care who we hire, but here's what I wish if I could get the especially after hearing one of the stories I heard this week on this guy. Whoever we get, Clint, whoever it is, I want them to go out and hire Ed Orgeron as defensive line coach, coordinator. I don't care what you hire him as. Hire the dude. Okay? Hire him. Here's the story I heard this week. I'd never heard this. You may have heard this before.
Okay,
But he was recruiting when he was at USC. He was trying to get Adrian Peterson. Okay?
okay.
But Adrian Peterson's dad was in prison in Texas. And he wouldn't be able to watch the games on TV from his prison. So Ed Orgeron actually looked into getting Adrian Peterson's dad transferred to a California prison, what it would take to do that. So he could get him out to USC. I want Ed Orgeron.
There you
Plus,
go. Like, hey,
just let him do half the press conferences. You know, if you get Franklin as coach, if you get Golish, I don't care who you get. You get one of those guys, let Ed Orgeron do most of the press conferences,
yeah,
shirtless,
yeah.
and just, you know, let him bring his girlfriend on the. I don't care. Let him bring his girlfriend
Him
on
and
the.
Belichick
You
could compete for hottest girlfriend. I don't
know,
know.
as long as he's not the head coach, I'm cool with it, man. In fact, I heard somebody talking about that LSU needs to just hire him for 2 years just to get them back right, and then they can go hire their big name coach after that. Because
And he said, I'm not gonna
yeah.
be right down there.
But you know, he did an interview and he said he would go back to LSU in a heartbeat. He said if Lane Kiffin went and he would go back and be his defensive line coach, he said he'd be there. He said he's ready to get back into coaching.
Yeah.
So man, I say bring him on to Arkansas, baby. We
There
can
you go.
understand that Cajun accent. We'll figure it out.
So Travis, the doom and gloom of a coaching search and football season, there's a little ray of sunshine.
Man, there is a big
Just
ray of
it's
sunshine.
beating through the clouds, and I was
Almost
like,
even like
woo.
a it's almost even throw in a rainbow in there, dude. Like
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean, it's
this
just
is like beautiful.
like so much room for activities.
That's right. Because the
Um,
basketball team, baby. And Clint, you know, the game last night, you know, they played Southern. We're recording this on Tuesday night. So it was the Monday night game wasn't, there was some weaknesses. There were some things that coaches, you know, defensive breakdowns. There were some things, but dadgummit, man, this is a talented team.
yeah, and it was for real last night. Like
Yeah.
it was for real. It was, and you can say what you want to about the exhibitions because I mean they both. It wasn't like the Arkansas Kansas one.
Yeah.
Uh, um, the game against Memphis, that was a real
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And then who else did we play? I'm brain farting. I want to say Cincinnati, but I don't
Cincinnati.
know.
It was
It was
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, who had just beat Michigan
Michigan.
at Michigan. So you played two really good teams and you handled them pretty well. And then but you had Southern coming in and beat them by 32. And
Yep.
that was about the difference in the game. At the
Yeah.
end of it, he got well, Travis, what's been your warm fuzzy for the basketball season thus far?
Dude, these freshmen, dude, Acuff and Malik Thomas. I
Yeah.
mean, they're so impressive. I mean, there's a lots of warm fuzzies, right? I mean, Pringle is a man. He's a man child. Trevin Brazil, we talked about it last week, I think, has a chance to be one of the best players we've seen come out of this
Yeah,
this year.
it's interesting what he's become, what he can become under Coach Cal. Hopefully he quits changing numbers now.
Yeah, that's
But
right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but no, so there's really the only cold prickly on this team has been the free throw shooting has not been the best in the world thus
Yeah.
far. Um,
Yeah.
and,
I
you
mean,
know,
it's
and, yeah,
they're impressive, man.
Yeah, they are they're an impressive bunch, and I think, they're a tournament team for sure. I don't think there's going to come in a time in the season where you're like, well, I don't know if Arkansas is going to make the tournament. I don't see that happening at all.
This weekend matchup is going to be a test
Yeah,
because if they don't play defense and they don't rebound against Michigan State, that Michigan State's going to take them to the woodshed. That's just the way it is. Michigan State's, Tom Izzo's teams. I haven't even looked at Michigan State. Okay, I haven't done any research on them or nothing. But if Tom Izzo's coaching them, his team is going to come in and they're going to play defense. They're going to rebound. They're going to be tough to guard. They're going to play disciplined basketball. And so this is going to be a good test for them. I think Cal, and listening to Cal in the post game press conference as he talked about it, and he said, "Look, they need to be ready to fight." He said, "We need to be ready to fight next week." He said, "You be ready to foul out at halftime if you got to." he said, "You just got to be ready to go." And so, I mean, yeah, I think this is going to be a good. I think Cal's looking forward to his guys getting tested, and that's what I love about Cal. That's what I love about him because I mean, if have we ever seen a schedule that's going to test the team like this one
no,
does? Besides some of our football schedules, but
no. I mean,
those weren't done on purpose.
well, this is what Cal does when he knows he has a good basketball team.
Yeah, you're right.
He knows he's got a good basketball team. He's like, okay, we're going to be ready for the tournament.
Yeah,
And have you looked? They did a rundown and you don't even realize how good it was. The guards, the
yeah,
point guards, namely, that Calipari has turned out
yeah,
into the NBA. Like, I mean, it is a who's who.
yeah,
I mean, SGA is probably the biggest name right now,
yeah.
and yeah, it's
Well,
insane. John Wall, Derrick Rose.
and Clint, and that's the thing, and that's what I think we should be looking for. That's what I look for in a coach, and it's kind of not to go too far back into football. I know we've kind of gone past that a little bit, but that's what we should be looking for in a football coach is someone who builds leaders. Okay, because a good leader builds up other leaders. And Cal, a point guard, is your leader on the court. And Cal builds, like you just said, he builds those point guards. That's why he's a great coach, because he builds leaders on the court. Those kids take ownership on the court and play the game like it's supposed to be played. And that's what we haven't seen in football. Okay. And that's what we need to see in whoever we get is someone that has proven they can build leaders. And, to me, that's what you look for if you're the board of trustees, if you're your check or whatever. They found
I
that in
do think
spades and Cal.
I do think more important than anything else is having that fund. It
Oh,
just it
well,
really
no, to get that guy here,
yeah,
to
you're
get
gonna
that
have
guy
to
here, because
have it.
we couldn't have got Cal here without John Tyson saying, "All right, 12 million, you got it."
Yeah.
You know, okay, you want to pay
Well,
each
we
one of
wouldn't have
your
had Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, Darius
You want to
Acuff,
pay
and Billy
each one of
Smith.
your play. You want to have enough money if you want to pay each one of your players $1 million a piece. You got it,
Yeah.
and I mean that's what gets them here. So yeah, you're right. I mean that you got to have that in place first.
Yeah.
But when you have that in place, then your choices get bigger. Okay, because even if we hadn't got Cal, if you could have got, and that's what they're trying to do with football, right? They're trying to get that, and they're saying, yeah, we can go after Franklin, but even if we don't get Franklin, we can get a great coach, but we're going to have this money to compete no matter who we got as coach. So even if they hadn't have got Cal, and Cal's been the proof in the pudding on it, right? I mean, he's showing if you got 12 million, I mean, if you got that much money, then you can do something. And so anyway, Yeah, that's a big step. But I want somebody that's proven. That's why I want somebody that's trained good coaches underneath them, that their coaches have gone on somewhere else, and someone that comes from a line of good coaches. They've learned from some good coaches. And that they've put some players on the field. Okay. Cal has done that. He's done that big time, just like you mentioned, talking about all those point guards he's had and others. I mean, even like Carl Anthony Towns. Look what he's doing for the Knicks.
Yeah.
That guy's a leader on that team.
Julius Randle.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are, people that their teammates look to them. There's a
AD.
reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason because they were under somebody that modeled that for them. So,
No, it really, I mean, to go down to it, sky's limits for the basketball team. And we just got to, I mean, man, if you get a guy like James Franklin in here, you have James Franklin, Coach Cal, and Dave Van Horn on the hill.
oh man, yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with.
I mean, we're going to turn on the volleyball coach or something.
Well, then you throw in our gymnastics coach and our, some of those others that are just,
Women's softball.
yeah, women's Courtney Difel. I mean, all those folks. I mean, and that's the thing. And that's the thing about Yurchek. I mean, he's under a lot of pressure, but he's done some great hires in almost every other sport. I mean, we'll see the proof in the pudding on the basketball girls coach, but
Well, and you got to think about it. I mean,
she
but
seems
look,
like a good one so far.
here's how important football is. As me and you were talking about it. LSU has 7 national championships under Scott Woodard. Was that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
The athletic director. 7 national championships, and that's including 2 baseball, 1 women basketball. So we're not just talking aquatics or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so legit 7 national championships, fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, your football team wasn't doing good enough, you're fired.
Yeah. Yep.
So
So yeah, you're
I
right.
mean that's the SEC for you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Clint, so we got a bye week this week, and then
Yeah.
got to get ready.
So I'm picking bye week 42, Arkansas 28.
Ooh, yeah. That's I think it's gonna be a little closer than that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say 38 to uh 29.
Travis, I'm gonna need you to edit this and put it at the beginning of the podcast because I know we're coming to the end of our time. And me and you have fumbled the ball. The
Okay.
ball is on the ground. We need an offensive lineman or somebody to jump on it.
Okay.
Cam freaking Little,
Oh yeah.
68 freaking yards,
Crushed
NFL
it.
record.
Crushed it.
Crushed it. Would have been good for, I think, 75.
Yeah.
Um,
And you know what's so cool about that? Did you see the way his coach talked about it?
yeah,
He's struggled this year. He's had some, he's missed some. He hasn't had the best of years. Even though he
right,
kicked that 70-yarder in the preseason. He's still kind of, there's been some and there's he's taken some flack, in the media down there and everything.
right,
But
yeah.
but man, we love Cam, right? We love, I mean, he's was so great at Arkansas and crushed it, dude. That was so awesome seeing
Yeah.
that. I was
Did you
with
watch him on he
Hulu
was on
had
the
the
McAfee, he was on McAfee today.
oh, was he really? No, I need to
Yeah.
look that up.
Well, it was actually a good conversation because they really were talking kind of kicker to kicker.
Yeah,
Um, and here's the thing, Cam doesn't think the record will hold. He goes, it'll be broken before the end of the year. He goes, he goes, and they're talking about the legs because I think this is more soccer talk for you, Travis.
yeah,
For all the listeners, just do this. No, no,
yeah. That's
no, no,
right.
no. Just cover your ears and just
Yeah,
no. So with soccer becoming more prevalent in the United States, whether any of us Gen Xers want to admit it or not,
yeah,
soccer is becoming more and more prevalent in the United States. And as especially youth sports and stuff is a good introduction to sports for kids. But as kids keep playing soccer and they have them free kicks, that's going to keep equating to football, and the legs are just going to get stronger and stronger.
yeah.
And that's one thing Cam's like, he's not a strong guy, does not like have a spectacular squat. He's just talking about the speed that he swings his leg
Yeah.
is what makes the difference. And
Well, I
so,
think I think Aubrey at Dallas will end up breaking it because Dallas don't have much to play for this year, and plus he's doing it in a stadium that's very kicker
well, but
friendly.
here's the thing. No one's going to sit out there and purposely kick a 69, 70 yarder. They're always going to try to get it closer.
Yeah,
What it's going to have to be, it's going to have to be end of the half,
yeah,
just kind of what it was for Cam, like, well, why not?
yeah,
And but the only problem is if you don't hit it, if you don't at least get out of the end zone, you give that and they put somebody under there, you have you a kick
get
six
get ready
situation.
to make a tackle. That's right.
And the problem is I don't know if you've seen who's on the field goal unit people, but they're built like me and Travis.
That's right. Yeah,
And they're not going to run
it's
anybody
not
down.
it's not the smallest guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Clint, I do look. My family has gotten bigger. My little cousin Alicia just had her little baby girl, Ella Beth Geneva is her middle name, okay? Which she's named after my grandmother. You remember my grandmother? I always called Nanny, right?
Right.
So I'm calling this little girl. Her name for me is going to be Little Nanny.
Little Nanny.
That's what I'm going to call her. Now, my grandmother's other nickname that like the her siblings called her was Aunt Doll, or that's what or they called her Doll because she was like all her family. You know how country
Right.
folks, hillbillies are. Everybody's got nicknames, right? Well, they all called her Doll because she was
Like
real
old
pretty.
Poogie.
She was a yeah, Mama Boo Boo and them.
Old
But
Poogie. Old Poogie's house.
but they called her Doll because she was real pretty when she was a baby, and so they called her. She looked like a baby doll, so they called her Doll. So that's what my aunt is going to call the baby is Doll to remember
Okay.
my grandmother, but not me because I'm the
Little
one. I
Nanny.
was the first grandkid, and I named my grandmother Nanny. She's not with us anymore. I miss her. This little girl's named after her. So little Nanny's in the world, and I'm
Yeah.
excited for little Nanny. I do need her to learn as quick as possible how to make Nanny's dressing, cause so she can carry that on.
There you go.
Cause I'm
Yeah.
needing some for Thanksgiving. I know
Get
she's
ready.
she's still in the hospital now,
You
but
got 3 weeks. Get out of
that's
that
right. Come
hospital and
on,
get dressed
kid.
ready.
Come on, kid.
Come on, kid. You gotta
But
you gotta get in there. I do want to say something. Arkansas Tech lost a man that I joked with Coach Mullins on here is calling him Stevie Two Chains, but our athletic director at Arkansas Tech was Mr. Steve Horner. Um, he actually is the original OG Stevie Two Chains because he went into the Hall of Fame twice for the women's basketball team of 98 to 99.
Mhm.
They made the Final Four for Division Two, and like anyway, went through a lot of adversity. Like they had like four torn ACLs on that team.
Oh wow.
Like got down to like 6, 7 players. Pretty impressive stuff. And he was the athletic trainer um, for the football team the entire time I was there.
Mhm.
He passed away. I'm not sure what from, but condolences to his family.
Yeah.
And all I mean, there's a lot of Arkansas Tech players that I know were close to him. Funny story is you know me, I've been known to play little shooty hoops every now and then when I was younger.
Mhm.
And Steve, I think, played basketball in college. I'm not real sure. He was just over in Tucker. I see him shooting around, and I played horse against him one time.
Yeah.
I don't think I got a letter on him. It was, I mean, I don't know. I think he made 5 shots and I missed 5 shots, and that was,
That
and
was
that
it,
was
huh?
the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm just that bad at basketball. He was that good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever told that story to anyone, but I just remember he was over. I don't even remember what I was doing over in Tucker because
Yeah.
it wasn't frequent that I went over there. And he's just in there
He
shooting.
got you. He didn't even take it
But we
easy
ended up
on you.
playing, and it was
Yeah.
bad.
All right. Well, Clint, bye week, folks. Root on the Hogs basketball team against Michigan State. I believe that's Saturday. And that should be a good game. Keep rooting on those Hogs. Hey, and keep behind the football team. if you get a chance, message some of them on social media. Let them know you're still behind them, still rooting for them. This is a tough time for a player when you're in a losing streak like this and lost coaches, and you don't know what next year is going to hold for you. So, let's be real fans, okay? Be real fans. Don't get caught up in all the haterade. So, Clint, have a
Bye,
great
everybody.
week, buddy. Peace out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My